I learned the truth in a place where people clap on command. The ballroom lights were warm, forgiving. Crystal chimed. My sister smiled like she'd survived a war. I stood near the bar with my phone buzzing in my palm. Another missed call for my brother. Again. He'd vanished earlier with my wife, the same way they always did lately. Quiet exits, shared glances, the kind you don't notice until your spine starts keeping score. My wife touched my arm. Soft, careful. "Smile," she whispered. "They're watching." I smiled, because the last time I didn't, she told me she was pregnant. I remember the way the word landed, second, like a blessing that arrives already wrapped. I remember lifting her off the floor, laughing, counting rooms we'd need to repaint. I remember my brother hugging me too long. His hand stayed on my back as if he needed balance. The phone buzzed again. Unknown number. One photo. A sonogram. Time-stamped 3 months earlier than she'd said. My sister raised her glass for a toast. Applause rose like weather. I swallowed, felt the cold of it. The picture burned into me. Not proof yet, just a tremor, enough to crack something open. I began to see the pattern after that, not all at once. That would have been merciful. I saw how my wife started wearing perfume to grocery runs, how my brother stopped meeting my eyes unless he was smiling, how they disappeared together, errands, work calls, smoke breaks at family dinners when neither of them smoked. I told myself it was nothing, then I told myself it was coincidence, then I stopped telling myself anything at all. Silence is where the truth waits. At night, I listened to her breathe and counted the seconds between my own. I watched reflections instead of faces. I learned the passcode to her phone by watching the oil on the screen. I ordered a prenatal DNA test with a neutral email and a shipping address across town. I pulled call logs under the pretense of fixing a billing error. Calm hands, quiet steps. I smiled at breakfasts. I asked my brother about his job. I offered to drive my wife to appointments. Inside, I rehearsed every version of the ending and discarded the ones that involved noise. The results arrived on a Tuesday. Brown envelope, thin, accurate. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. I sat at the kitchen table and drank my coffee until it went cold. When my wife came in, she talked about napkin colors for the wedding. I slid the paper across the table, didn't look at her. I asked a question I already knew the answer to. How long? She made a sound like air leaving a tire. Then she cried. Then she tried to touch me. Then she said my brother's name like it could save her. I stood, folded the paper, put it back in the envelope. "We're late," I said. "My sister's wedding." At the venue, my brother avoided me. Then he didn't. He cornered me near the bar, eyes glassy. "She was going to tell you," he said. I nodded. I believed him. People always mean to tell the truth later. When the music softened and the room leaned in for speeches, I felt oddly light, like I'd already left. My sister's name was called, then mine, tradition, family, applause again. I took the glass. I didn't look at my wife. I didn't look at my brother. I looked at my sister because she deserved one clean thing tonight. "I want to thank my sister," I said, voice steady, "for showing me what loyalty looks like." A pause, a breath. "And I want to thank my brother," I continued, "for reminding me that blood isn't proof of anything." The room stilled. I reached into my jacket and placed the envelope on the table between us, white against white. My wife's face collapsed. My brother's mouth opened and closed like a bad edit. "I won't ruin the night with details," I said gently. "I already have the truth." I raised the glass. "To new beginnings," I said. "Some of us earn them." I drank. I set the glass down. I walked away. Outside, the night was cool and exact. My phone rang. I turned it off. I didn't feel victorious. I felt finished. There are losses that teach you nothing. There are truths that don't ask to be forgiven. I signed the papers the next morning. I sent one message to my brother, only the date of the test, and blocked him. I still remember the weight of that glass in my hand, how easy it was to let go.